Hello and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to a brand new video. And this week on the Magic Roundabout, at the start of the month, we have our regular appearance of a matchbox. This one's a regular wheels, and it's the Foden cement truck. I'll give you the number in a minute when we get it off the bench, off the roundabout and onto the bench. I'd just like to welcome any new friends to the channel. Welcome aboard. Thank you very much for joining. Welcome back all the old friends of the channel. Thanks for sticking with me. It's much appreciated. We're doing good. Okay. Let's get it off the Magic, get it on a bench, and have a good look at it. Here we are then. I didn't think we were recording for a minute. Here we are then. Made in England by Lesney, and it's number 21. The rest of the writing's under the axle. Foden or Foden. So pronounce it. Cement truck. Looks like we've got two posts there. This gear wheel actually turns the gubbins. Now this has not been tampered with, but from the factory, they've obviously got two different colour plastics. That might be the base or something else what goes. There's a couple of cement trucks that Matchbox did. That maybe the back of one of the older ones, and then this is the front of that one. But we'll leave it. We'll clean it, but we're not going to try and alter it. Good glass. It looks like it's tinted glass. Foden on the front. Red chassis, yellow top. They got some chute detailing on the back there. A lot of wheels, black plastic wheels, and I think not this end. It's going to be that end where we're going to file off. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we've got a bit of filing to do, boys. We've got a bit of filing to do. So we're going to drill these two out first. Let's get the tools out. Oh, we've got a bit of detailing we can put on the side there, if you so wish. There and there. Ladder there. Put a bit of black in there. Yeah. SP, I don't know what that stands for. Stir, please. Let's have a look at this then, shall we? See what we've got and what we haven't got. As we know, it's a dinky. Here we go. Look, off the bat, buggered it up. Yeah, number 21. Now I've drilled the tops of the posts off that one. I was trying to see whether or not what screws I can get in there. Yeah, so drill the top off, and that cab just comes out. Simple. This had a post in it, as you can see, so I had to drill that out very carefully. There you go. So that's that out. I didn't use a soldering iron on this one because I've only got one of these, and if the soldering iron being in such a close area built up too much heat, the chance I could warp that. I'm not saying it would have done, but it could have warped the glass. So I wasn't willing to take the risk. If I'd got a spare, then I would have took the risk, but I need to experiment with it anyway to see if I can get it into a small here. The idea would be to line that with silver foil before I melted that. But so that's that bit, and this bit then just pulls up there, but you can't get any further because there is an axle that goes right away through. That's the fat end, and if I get this right, get it pushed up far enough, that's the thin end. Okay, so that's going to be interesting. Forward thinking here. So if I grind that off the end of there, that's fine, that'll come out no problem. But when it goes to go back in again, I've got to tap that to peen that over. I could put a bit of super duper on there or something, but it falls down this way, so the only way I can do that would be to put a punch upright and then put that on the punch and tap it down. So, you know, in this game, forward thinking always helps, just in case you get yourself in trouble otherwise. So, to get that off, I've got to try and maintain pressure on that end and file that off. I might actually use the wizard on that just to quickly grind that off, because trying to hold it like that it's not going to work, because you can't really use pliers because you need to hold it out like that. So we'll see. We'll get that in a minute. Axles will be alright to grind off. So we grind those off. You see me do this umpteen times. Smooth side on the file. This is not hard to do. Just get yourself a file and another file or a grinder and just grind off the edge smooth. That way you're not going to damage as you come off. So, you know, this is how we do it. This is how we do it. And do that. There's a lot of these on here, so I might end up getting the grinder out. That's how we do this. I'm not going to put you through watching me do all of these because it will take quite a while. It's not as if you're watching, it's just not as if you don't know how to do this. There you go. Yeah, so you can do it that way, or you can do it the other way, which is getting, if I've got one in here, I'm not sure, get a grinding drum and grind it round. So you've got two ways of doing these, getting these off if you want. So I'm going to set about getting these off of here, okay, and I'm going to try and find a way of doing that. When I've got a way, I'll show you anyway, okay. So because you haven't seen that done before, but you've seen this done before. Okay, what I've done here, put a bit of masking over the top of that cog, and what I'm going to do, I've got the pin in this vise. I've got that, it's going to fit on the bottom of there. Like so. I'm trying to get it so you can see it. I'm going to come out a little bit. There you go, you can see a bit better now. Alright. I've got my camera as high up as it will go. I've got my grinding wheel spinning. So that's putting pressure down there. And just move it around a little bit on there. See what we got. There you got it. Come out. No damage to the cog. Turn this off. Now, hook it back up, move this out of the way for a second. Bring the camera down. There you go, now we're back to square one. Yeah. So that's your pole through there. Okay. So there's a good bit of room to play with. We'll sort that back out. This doesn't come apart, so I'm not going to force it. So I'll put that in the ultrasonic along with this. Now the axles, as you see, I just pull out standard stuff, but this one at the front, that was in there like so. So when you take it out, you just pull it out like that, pull that out. So there you go. So that's that done, that's that. No damage to the wheels. It might be a bit tight getting them off because some of them might have to tap through, because there wasn't a lot of room when you got filing and grinding. There wasn't that much room. And I thought, oh, I'm going to struggle here. But we got it. EU Dares wins. Alright, so that's all your axles out. So that's going to go in the caustic. They'll get wire brushed. These will go in the ultrasonic over there. Now, let's have a look at the cab. Obviously, the glass has come out. That'll go in the ultrasonic. Now, have a look here. Let me just zoom in a bit. Now you can see how narrow them posts are. So I've drilled and tapped that one using the 1.6 millimeter drill, and I tell you what, you gotta go steady with it, because if you can't afford to be rocking around on it. And then in with me 2mm tap, and I bought some really small screws. I got these are M2 by 3, and I got some M2 by 4s, but I got some M2 by 3s here. How small they are, and I got them with the Allen key slot on, because they look a little bit less obtrusive. So there you go. That's a big word, isn't it? Yeah, so I'll go in there. I'm going to pop this one in because I've done this one. Yeah, it's a bit tricky, I'll tell you. There's not a lot of room in there, and the rivets I've got won't go in that as small as that. I did have some Hot Wheel Matchbox rivets, but I can't seem to get them anymore. So I'm just going to, dare I risk it on camera, or dare I not? See the decks. Here we go. Now the trick here is to go slow. So if you've got headphones on, yeah, I think we're just about in the middle, roughly, so let's go really slow on this one. I'm going to give you a super duper close up. Yeah, and I'm resting it on the angle, so if the drill is at an angle, because the cab's at an angle. Okay. I'll try and keep it in shot. I'm not going to drill all the way through because I need to concentrate. keep stopping. Right, now I've gone in a little way. I'll squirt a bit of the old WD down there. Alright. So let me carry on with doing that then. And I'll get back to you when I'm putting the thread in. Okay, that's it. Got one of the little, here it is. The little shards. A little bit of swarf. Yeah, tap. I've just squirted a bit of WD down there. This is my 2mm tap. So as you can see, that's barely going to fit in there. So just take it real steady, just till you get a good start on it. It's not hard to do, it's quite soft, but it's just keeping it steady. I'll keep my finger on the, I can't see from there, I'll lift it up, see. I'll keep my thumb on the top of there. I'm going to hold the bottom here to keep it steady. And then when you feel it getting a little bit tight, withdraw it. Give it a clean. Feel where the thread is. Go back in. There you go. Get it tight again. Pull it out. Clean it. Do that. Now I've got in there, I can move my hand further down, get a better grip. Well, I hope I'm not wasting my time doing this. I hope it's of use to somebody. I've had to do it anyway, so I might as well just film it, mightn't I? But what I haven't done, I've got these Allen screws, but I'm not sure I've got a flipping Allen key small enough. So I'm going to have to see if I've got an Allen key small enough. Right, I'm going to pull that out of there now because I've gone at a bit of a funny angle. And I will admit that I've gone at a bit of a funny angle, if you probably noticed. And if you can see, while I'm stopping, it's just there. See that little bit that's coming out of there? That's because the drill's going out. I've got this in a funny angle. I didn't put it in correctly, which is my bad. But that should be deep enough anyway. So I'll take this one out of here. Drop that in there. That's why I say if you're not concentrating, things like that can happen. And you know me, if I make a mistake, I'll own up to it. Well, I wouldn't call that a mistake. It was just a bit of a cock up, wasn't it, really? Yeah, and that's gone there. That's plenty far enough. There you go. So I'll leave them in there because when you're painting, you don't want painting your threads, do you? So if you're going to do that, yeah, there's some screws, like 2.3. I've got 50 of them. Don't look like 50s in there, does it? And if you want to know where I got them from, on eBay, put in Screw City. And that's where they come from. A company called Screw City. I'm not buying bags of 4 and 5 off some of these sellers. I just go straight to a man of somebody like that who does them. That's not, there you go. So there we are. We're done. So they'll stay in there now for the duration. Seal up my bag. Okay, it's more dinner time. Okay then, let's get this Foden all done. I'm going to use, this is the caustic soda you're looking for if you're looking for the cheap ones. It just says caustic soda on it, not added caustic soda. So this time we're going to put a little bit inside the jar first. See how we get on with that. Boiling water. I ain't got a lot of room here. See how we get on with that. My spray booth's not that tall. We've got yellow, so let's see how we get on with it. I need a bit more water in, I think. A little juggle round and see what's going on. Oh yeah, that's coming off. Look, you can see that. Where am I? Yeah, look. Leave it in there for a little bit, give it a stir around. But that's not doing so well. Got that in now, and I'll put a bit more caustic in there. I think that red might struggle. We'll have a look, see. Yeah, I think the red's going to struggle, but I think the yellow's going to be alright. That's strange, normally the yellow struggles and the red doesn't. If it's not successful, I'd just use the ordinary spray paint dripping gel. There you go. That's it. That's off there. Put that over there. I need to have excuse me. Not organised this morning. It's early this morning, so I'm not organised. Should have been more prepared. I don't normally come up the shed this early in the morning, but I've got a few things to do today, so get in this script. Now it's coming. I think probably a lot of that will come up. Oh, bollocks. Need a bit of a longer wire, really, don't I? I think probably a lot of that will come off with a brush. Yeah. Actually, this has got some residue of paint stripper in it, that's why it's gone a bit gloopy. Yeah, that'll do you. I need to get this in the rinsing tray. Yeah, there was obviously some residue of the old paint stripper in there, and it's gone a bit gloopy, so there you go. Right, first of all, this stuff is quite common in some of these hardware shops and stuff like this, but be careful because there's two bottles like this. One's got I think it's a yellow bottle. It says caustic soda on it, but if you read it carefully in the smaller writing, it's got with added caustic soda, and it's not as powerful as this. This is not bad. It's not as good as the Max that I used to use, but I can't seem to get that in a minute because we haven't got one of them DIY stores around here. So I've been given another tub of caustic soda from Luke, Scale Customs, but I wanted to use this up first. So yeah, if you're going to see this in the shops, don't go for the one straight away. Read it label carefully. This one says definitely caustic soda, right? No add, nothing else with it. But the other one will say caustic soda added, so be wary of that. Also with this stuff, if you haven't used it before, safety glasses or a face visor to stop any splashes getting up in your eyes, and gloves. It's essential, just in case you burn yourself. You don't want to do that. Right, okay, so yeah, it come off. Yeah, unfortunately that jar that I had some paint stripper in it, and I hadn't cleaned it out properly, which is my bad. So it went a bit jelly, but it still did the job. As you can see, there's just a little bit in there of the jelly stuff in there, but that'll come off. That'll come off, so I can wire brush it. But yeah, it come out quite nice. There, I'll get it all off like that. Get it out. I'm not a great lover of the ordinary paint stripper. I think it's messy, very, very messy. But unfortunately, sometimes you have to use it because some of the paints just don't come off with caustic soda. But also, people who haven't got the facilities to use caustic soda will have to resort to that. Okay, right, let's have a look at this casting anyway, because I think for a matchbox, quite a lot of detail on this little thing actually. Got all you look, if you look carefully, you've got your, let me just let's go in a bit, shall we? We're going to do a bit of waffling this morning. You've got your levers there, all cast in. You've got the ladder, all cast in. There's your tank. Oh, it's the air tank or fuel tank. It's probably an air tank. That's all cast in. The detail on the back. You've got your chute and your top fill and your levers there. You've even got your lights at the back. Look, let's try and get a focus here. You've got your tail lights at the back. Probably a battery box or a toolbox there. But you think about it, I mean, that's a lot of detail to put into a small matchbox toy. There you've got your radiator for your thing what runs the barrel. Can't remember what they call it now. And on the front, you've got your Foden written in there. And this bit, which we're going to go chrome with that bit, and these side pieces. It's got your lights in there, and you've got a little tiny vents in there. Look at that, there and there. I mean, it's even got the pattern molded in. I mean, that's, and there. You know, because I'm saying, back in the day, they spent time getting it to look right. I mean, the scale's sometimes a bit off, but, you know, I mean, you wouldn't get that level of detail in a casting now. All they do now is stick a load of stuff on, plastic lights, push them in, plastic grills, they shove them in, you know, I mean, this was all moulded in. This was all carved into the original mould. It's good, but unfortunately, sometimes they're covered up with a load of paint. But anyway, that's enough waffle. Just going to get the wire brush on it now, and like I said before, I just normally just go straight in with a cheap old wire brush. Say cheap old wire brush, but You get them from places like the Range, places like that. This is what I like to do to start off with. I'll just come out a bit now, just to get the all any crap out of it to start with before I go in with the wire wheel and stuff like that. As you can see, that's well worn now, isn't it? So that's what we do. So I should be doing that all over, and I'll get inside with the wizard and the wire wheels. So we're going to do that with both of these, and when that's done, we'll have a look at any casting lines if there is any. I can't see many, but you'll probably get away with some casting lines on these things because they're industrial. And then we'll head in for some primer. We're going to use a white primer because it's red and yellow. Right, I'm just going to show you. I'll turn it off a second. Excuse me. Right, see that on the end of there? That is rather small selection in here. That was, which one was it? Yeah, can't remember which one it was now. But yeah, you basically, when they get worn down, oh, here you go, look. It was one like that, which is more flared out than that. And the more you use that, the more knotty it gets into a tight knot. Now, when it gets into a tight knot, it turns out like that. Now I keep these, I never throw these away because I'm going to show you now. So if you've got headphones on, I'll turn them down and take them off for a second. Well, what I do is switch on the old wizard, and in places like that, in there, and in there, where you can't get in with a normal one, you get in with this. So you can get in, work it. And the beauty of this is, because it's in such a tight knot now, you don't get loose wires spinning off into your jumper or your t-shirt or in your, so it's basically getting out that, and it gets all that crap out of there. And you can put pressure on it as well. Someone did say to me once that you could reverse it and unwind it, but I don't think that'll happen. But yeah, you see, that's got all that crap out of there now. This is especially useful if you're using that gel stuff, because, and you can use it on the top if you're using the paint stripper gel, because that, you know, it's like it's so messy and leaves bits stuck everywhere. And see in that radiator there, you can get in with this and get rid of all the paint what's inside them, shine it up a little bit. See the difference now. So don't throw those away. Okay, I'll turn it off now because it's a bit noisy. Yeah, so don't throw them away. They're always handy. So this one will end up like the rest of them. And until they get really worn down, then you can chuck them away. I've got one here which is right down to the nib now, like that, near enough. But that's still good for getting in there, in the wheel arches, and in round there, and these little nooks and crannies. Because this sort of stuff here, this one, like that, you can see the hairs missing off it, the wires missing out of it. These are the ones what, oh man, it's like shrapnel coming off at you. And the trouble is, you don't know it's come off until you go somewhere and you're sitting there and think, God, I'm getting stabbed here. And you'll find one of these stuck in your arm or in your jumper or something like that. So be careful of those. Be careful of those. Yeah. So there you go. Right, okay then. We're going to paint. We primed this in the white primer. Now we're going to use this laser shot forward laser red. how I do these is I just first coat of getting all the corners. I'm hoping this paint's going to be alright. And I hope you can try and keep it in shot the best I can. So now I'll just move the camera up. I've got, let's just try and get it that way. So I like to start underneath. Say try and get in all the corners with this, but it's such a small casting. It soon covers it. Little flicks, get it in like in the wheel arches and places like that where it's a bit of a pain. You're just right up in there. You don't want to flood it first time out. That'll do for the first coat, and then we can give it a bit of a blast with a heavier coat. That's the red. So give me a second and I'll pull out the yellow. What I've decided to do, because that was two colours, the two orange, I didn't like it, so I thought, we know what, we're going to paint it yellow. It'll be the same as the cab. So this is the AA yellow, my go-to yellow. I do like this yellow. It's not too pasty or pale. I'm hoping it's warm enough, yeah. So we just give it some light coats. I've masked off the cob. I didn't want to paint that. I might paint it. I might paint it in a steel colour. So there you go. That's just a nice light coat. That's settled. That's on plastic. And last bit will be the cab. Again, start on the inside. I always like to give it a bit of a test in there, that's why I do that, if there's any clogs in it. Just give it a bit on the inside. There you go. And just light coats on the outside. A bit across there. I don't want to overdo it on the front edge because I want to scrape that off. So that'll do for the first coat, and I'll go back and get it with a second coat. But I'm not going to put you through all that. I'm just burning the hairs on my leg on the fire. It's just moving my leg around. I just stood there for a minute. I thought, what's burning? The hairs on my leg. Right, just a little bit in there. I've just noticed. So try and stroke that in there. In there. Right. And then I always turn my can upside down and give it a little squirt in the back. That clears anything out of the nozzle. Let's see how the paint come out, shall we? That's the red. Come out quite nice. I've scraped the paint off that for the bumper. for a change. This is the yellow, the AA yellow. It's a nice yellow. This it's not a pasty yellow. I've done some scraping on this, as you can see, there and there, around there. The Foden sign in the middle was not too bad. It wasn't greatly separated. Don't forget, it's only a 1/64 scale, so it's quite small. And these were raised, so I managed to get them done all right, and down the sides. So what I'm going to do now is you've got headlights, side lights, and this little piece on the top there, either end, there and there, were indicators. So we'll paint them in. I'll put a bit of black on there, because that's the bit that goes through. Then we'll probably put a dot of silver on these, that side. We'll try and get some matte black in there, on that bit there. And on this bit, we'll see if we can get a little dot with a toothpick on these levers and that ladder, see if we can pick that ladder out. I'm not sure if I'll better do that, but we'll try. On the back here, might do that arm there. Yeah, we'll see. There's a bit of to do on those two. I've done the drum, and I'll put this dare plant on there. I was just trying to see if they were any good. I decided to paint it all one colour in the yellow, even though it's a little bit two-tone now. So I put these plant on, and I painted this steel there, because that will sort of go in like that, and then this hooks in like so. So, you know, I think that looked pretty sort of all right. Yeah. So that's where we are with that and that. I'll keep that in there. I painted that one steel as well, because that goes underneath there. So that's painted. The tyres, the wheels, I've used the that tyre dressing. And I did it last night, so they've had time to dry. They come out quite nice. That's that. I use that Glim, Auto Glim tyre dressing. I just put some in a jar, put these on a toothpick and dipped it in. Gets them nice and shiny. So they've all got to be knocked in and cleaned over. So anyway, let's crack on, shall we? And be careful I don't scratch any of this anymore. So we're going to try and get these headlights painted in. I've got my usual go-to, and we'll just see how we get on in there. So nice little model, this. Quite a bit of detail on it. So you've got your main lensings there, and then you've got your outer bezel, as I think they call it. I'm sure somebody correct me if I'm wrong. There. There. That's those two. And we'll just put a dab on here so we can put some clear orange on. Yeah, I mean, I like doing this. I like dressing up these die casts because it's like I said before, the guys who designed the model in the first place and the casting, it just seems a shame to cover all that detail up in a thick layer of enamel paint. Yeah, so that's that and that done. Let's see what we can do on this side here. They're very tiny. I've got a hair sticking out of my brush there. Here we go. Right, that'll do. There, I'll do that black later because I need to just carry on with the silver first. Which is what we need to do. I need to get out flipping hair because it's doing my head in. And find out where it's gone now. Oh, there it is. We've got it. Anyway, we'll have a look. We'll dip it in a bit deeper. We'll go deep diving, Peter. See it now. Okay, what we got here? Let's try and get this ladder, shall we? So I'm holding my breath while I'm doing it, going down here. Too bad. I've got a bloody fly buzzing around here. He's just come through the shed door. It amazes me that they can soon find a way in, but can they find a way out? No. I'll go around with a cocktail stick in a minute and clean these edges up. There you go. Too bad. Oh, I'll do the back lights. These little back lights, we'll do them. Move that. I've still got that air sticking out there. It might be easy with this. Micro painting. There you go. A little bit what shouldn't be in there. Get that out. There you go. It's got it. We'll run we go. Oh, I know what we'll do. We need a bit in here. We need to do inside this chute here.
Just rang.
Hold on. Yeah, sorry about that. Got interrupted there. My missus just having a car MOT this morning. It's past the MOT all right, and she's having a service and stuff done to it. So she's having a problem with it, a certain part of it. So I won't go into all the details, but yeah, it's going to cost me an extra 150 quid to get this part changed. But that's the joy of motoring. That's the joy of motoring. I remember my father saying to me once, when I passed my test, he said, "You got a choice." He said, "You can either be a rich pedestrian or a poor motorist." And I thought to myself, well, in them days, I'll be a poor motorist. And I've been a poor motorist ever since. There you go. I think that'll be enough. Don't overdo it. Right. I'll just carry on, finish off the odds and sods details, and then we'll get back on to the assembly. Right, peeling over time. Let's just go through what I've done detail-wise. We've got the headlights in now. Got the indicators in both sides. We've got the black in there. Couple of clips on there. On here, we've got the ladder. You saw that. Those lights in the back. They used a pen on this one because the translucent red was too. You couldn't see it. I painted over these axles at the minute and got that in. Okay. I might have put that in a different way around, but it doesn't really matter. Okay, so now we're in the last one. Not easy, because these were quite close to when I ground them off. They were very close anyway. So I got my steel weight here, and I used the corner, or near enough the corner anyway. So it sits on the edge. So the mud guard is over the edge. It's not sitting on here. So use it so the mud guard's on the edge. As you'll probably see in a minute, there's not a lot if you look closely, so I can get it in a bit closer. Oh, I'm way off there. I'll just move it off my stand and I'll show you. Where is it? Down there. You will see. Oh, that's not focusing. Too far. But yeah, there you go. Look, there's hardly anything to pin over there. Or was that one? So you don't need a lot to tap these over, but just be careful where you're hitting. These aren't going to be played with as such. You just, what you're trying to get is you're trying to go for the edge of the, you're trying to go for the edge of it. You can put a protection over there if you want to, bit of masking tape or something like that. Just keep your eye on the target, and your eyes will do the rest. And you just, if you see, I'm just basically going around the outer edge. And we're just going to see, it's a little bit like that. You can use one of these punches if you want, if you can balance it. It's a bit tricky to balance that and that at the same time. I usually find this method's okay when you haven't got much to paint over. This, hopefully it's got it. Yeah, that's got it, look. Oh no, it hasn't got it. I thought it got it. My bad. Got a bit more. It's nearly there. So we'll just go back down and see how it can be tricky. You can use a drill, a hammer drill, with a bolt or a piece of metal which is hollowed down, dished, and use it on a hammer action. If you watch Paul Restore's videos, he does that sometimes on his. Some people use a pillar drill. I tried that and I didn't like the idea. I think that's got it now. Yeah, that's got it now. So there you go. A bit of messing about. Be patient. Take your time. Watch what you're doing. And you should be okay. Right, so that's that bit now. Whoa. Right, what I meant to have done was put the glass in to let that dry while I was doing this, but I didn't. So my glass is here. Just give it another polish up. I didn't do a lot with this. I didn't go over with the sandpaper or anything like that. I thought it was pretty half decent. So we'll see how we go. It doesn't look too bad actually. I need to fit it, make sure it's going to sit in there, which I think it probably will do. Yeah. And then what I've been using recently, this B7000, I use it for my miniature rooms, and I find it's pretty good. So we'll stick that in there, all around there. Unlike super glue, it doesn't give off fumes as such that will cloud your glass. And it has got a little, if you can find the hole. Oh dear, come on mate. It's quite a small tube, this one. Drop this in then. It's quite tacky, so it will go and grip it. Push it right down, look. That should hold that. There you go. Well, I'll give that a second or two to grip, and then we'll start putting it together. I'll get the magic carpet out, and then we'll be go, go, go. One more thing is putting the drum on. I forgot to show you that. Put the drum back on its axle, which goes through there, comes out that end there. Now, how I pin that over. It was quite long, so I had plenty of, see that there. I got the punch there, the centre, put it in this vise, and then located it on there, like so. So it's supporting it. Let me just bring that up. So I'm doing this one-handed at the minute, so excuse me if the fucking thing falls off. Excuse my French, I wouldn't be swearing. Yeah, and you can pull that out a ways. So what I've done there is done that, and I got the grinding disc on here, held it up tight, and just basically went over the top like that. And what that does, one, it heats the pin up, secondly it creates a burr on the edge. Alright, so once that burr's on the edge, then I got my hammer and just tapped it round like this, and because it's supported underneath with that punch, it stays where it is. And just gently tap around it. Don't grind too much off, because it won't work properly if you do. And then just tap around it, just gently, and that should then, there you go, like that. Move that back over there, and then it works. Look, okay. It's all okay, and you've still got movement, but that we clamped with this cab in a second. Right. Okay, you're learning some stuff today. Right, let's get this back down here. Okay. So, we'll just move straight on in then. The glass will be drying out. I've got these little buttonhead things, Allen key. These are only 3mm long. I don't think you need to be any longer than that. So, make sure my glass is okay. Yeah, it's fine. Everything else is fine. Yeah. Hook that in there like so, and that should go over the back of there like that. Bit of pressure, and then a couple of screws. A couple of Allen screws. We'll just stick them in there. Fiddly little buggers these are. Oh, hey. Oh, tell you what, we had a bit of fun last night. We let old Ron out in the garden, evening time, and he was gruffling, and he weren't barking, but he was gruffling and jumping about like a Lulu. And Miss said, what's he after? So I got the torch out and had a look. And he was trying to look underneath his plant pot, which was on a slab. And he was gruffling and running about and thinking, oh, happy days. And when I lifted the plant pot up, and there was a big fat toad underneath his plant pot. And flipping it, I picked it up anyway. And my mom, Mrs. hates toads and frogs. So I picked it up anyway. And he thought it was going to be his flipping supper. I said, no, mate. So I had to distract him. Well, I got the missus to distract him while I put it somewhere else in the garden where he couldn't see. And he was going up and down that garden like a good one last night trying to find this toad. It was funny. He does make me smile, that boy. Yeah. So anyway, we're unscrewing this in here. I think I cross-threaded that one. I'll be careful now. Not concentrating. Come on, fella. Concentrate. Get that back in there again. I was talking to you. I've lost my concentration then. Oh, there we go. Just got to, I'm trying to get it just on the edge so I can spin it in with this Allen key. But it keeps dropping out. I think I've got it. Come on, matey. Yeah, got it. Just wind her in. Yeah. I was looking to see, I've got one of these real small Allen keys in one of those, you get those pens with multiple functions on the end of them. You can open them up and change from a saw blade to a chainsaw to a chopper, Allen keys, scissors and all that sort of stuff. But I hadn't got one. Anyway, we're getting there now. Just be patient, we're coming to the end now. There you go, that's in. And we're all singing and all dancing, and it's rotating the right way for my wording. I was a bit worried I got it round the wrong way, but there you go. So we're finished. Mustn't lose that, it's the only one I've got. And put that back in there. Minute screws. Right, let's get it on the magic then. There we go. Nicely done. Looks all right. I'm just going to dab a little bit of silver on these axle ends. And we're done. This is what we started with, our Matchbox regular wheels Foden or Foden cement truck. So have a look, see what we did to it, see if you like it, and have a look at this. Here we are then, all done and dusted. It's our little Matchbox 8-wheeler cement mixer. Yeah, we've done a bit extra detail on this, done all the front grille, lights, bumper, bit on the Jenny on the back there. Got my logo on the side. Yeah, I quite enjoyed doing this one, a bit of fun this one. Enjoyed this. Done all the lights at the back, a few extra details on the back end. There you go. Old Foden, whichever way you want to pronounce it. There you go. Yeah, turned out rather smart that. So that looked nice on the cabinet along with the other construction gear. Matchbox stuff anyway. Yeah, this, as it showed you, it's working. Well, I hope you like this one. Look forward to your comments. And what's we got now? Yeah, that's the first one of August out of the way. We've got something different again next week. So hopefully you'll tune in next week. Okay then. Let's go. Well, whatever you're doing, be lucky. Done it again, haven't I? Whatever you're doing, be happy. Hopefully you'll be lucky. And we'll see you all again next week with something else. So bye for now. Enjoy your rest of your week. And we'll see you next Wednesday. Bye for now. See you later. As you're going round. And we'll stop it at the front as we like to.